The male and the female, because that's how you multiply.
Exactly. Just stay right there. So
Read on, read on.
The male and his female, and of beasts that are not clean by two, the male and his female.
Right. So the Most High said, take of the clean beast, take 7. And of the unclean, take by 2. Because what? We need more of the clean, because what, they're going to be consumed, they're going to be eaten. So that those need to be replenished. You know what I'm saying, we need those in abundance. But the unclean ones, this have a purpose also. Read on. So that's why, but the numbers were smaller. Read on.
Of fowls also of the air by 7s, the male and the female, to keep seed alive upon the face of all the earth. For yet 7 days, and I will cause it to rain upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights. And every living substance that I have made will I destroy from off the face of the earth. And Noah did according unto all that the Most High commanded him.
Right. So, verse 3 says, of fowls also of the air by 7s, the male and the female, to keep seed alive upon the face of the earth. To keep seed alive, so that all the species that the Most High created before the flood were kept alive. They were all kept alive, so that after the flood, they could replenish the earth. Okay, so from the very beginning, we can see that the Most High deemed what was clean versus what was unclean. All right, okay. So now get me Leviticus 11, verse 1. Leviticus chapter 11. We said the time of Leviticus, that was after we came out of Egypt with Moses. You know what I'm saying? You see, when the Moses was going to reiterate the laws and elaborate on the laws. But the laws we just read in Genesis were already established from the time of Noah, from the time of Adam. Leviticus 11, verse 1.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 11, verse 1. And the Most High spake unto Moses and to Aaron, saying unto them, Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, These are the beasts which ye shall eat among all the beasts that are upon the face of the earth.
Right. So it's like you can see right there, the Most High making a stipulation, a distinction between what's clean and what's unclean, and what you can eat versus what you should not eat. The Most High said, these are the beasts which ye shall eat among all the beasts that are upon the earth. So we can see that there are a variety of beasts upon the earth. But of all those beasts, only a certain amount of those beasts you can eat are edible. We know that you can kill any beast and eat it. But what does the Moses say that there's some beasts you can eat versus what you cannot eat or you should not eat? You're going to find out later on. Read on.
Verse 3. Whatsoever parteth the hoof and is cloven-footed and cheweth the cud among the beasts that shall ye eat.
So the Most High giving certain characteristics of the animals or the beasts or even the fishes of the seas that you should be aware of to decide to know which ones are edible versus which are not edible. Understand? Read on.
Nevertheless, these shall ye not eat of them that chew the cud, or of them that divide the hoof, as a camel, because he cheweth the cud, but divideth not the hoof, he is unclean to you.
Mm-hmm.
And the coney, because he cheweth the cud, but divideth not the hoof, he is unclean to you. And the hare, because he cheweth the cud, but divideth not the hoof, he is unclean to you. And the swine, though he divide the hoof, and be cloven-footed, yet he cheweth not the cud, he is unclean to you.
Right, so you know what I mean? The most I tell you right there is making a distinction between what's clean and what's unclean. A beast. If you read the old chapter, you'll see. It's not just talking about the beast. It's not talking about the fishes. It's not talking about the birds. All living creatures, besides humans. The most are giving an idea what's edible versus what's not edible. Understand? So all you see outlined right in Leviticus chapter 11 and also in Deuteronomy chapter 14. Understand? But for some reason, people of this, even our people, Israelites, we got separated from these facts for the words of the Most High. So all of a sudden we started eating anything and everything. Give me also 1 Corinthians. Give me 1 Corinthians 3 verse 19. People start leaning on their own misunderstanding.
The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 3 verse 19. For the wisdom of this world is foolishness with the Most High.
Right. That's why they said that the wisdom of this world is foolishness with the Most High, because people of this world say that, you know what, it tastes good, it looks good. I'm saying, so we're going to eat it. They didn't understand why the Most High made a distinction between the different creatures as to which ones are clean and unclean, which ones are edible versus unedible. You know what I'm saying? So they came up with their own idea as to which ones can be eaten versus which shouldn't be. We on? Is there more?
For it is written, he taketh the wise in their own craftiness.
Right. It is written, he taketh the wise in their own craftiness. So those so-called wise people or think that they're smarter than the Most High. You know what? They say to themselves, that don't make no sense. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this catfish. So fluffy. Look at this pork. So fat. What do you mean they can't eat it? You know what I'm saying? This whole group. Look at this. Look at this rat. Look at this rabbit. What do you mean they can't eat it? It's delicious. That is so that it tastes just like chicken. Look at this crocodile. You know what I'm saying? Look at the lizard. Look at this iguana. No, it tastes just like chicken, man. So most of us what? You take it, read it again, Ak.
For it is written, he taketh the wise in their own craftiness.
He take it the wise in their own craftiness. So they come up with their own agenda, their own intellect, their own so-called intelligence. And that's what's going on right now. You see what's going on right now in China? Because China, certain places like in France, when I was a youth growing up, I always heard about we don't eat no frog. Yo, in Jamaica, where I'm from, so everybody frogs. What? We're in like a place like France. We call it spring chicken. That's a big time food, man. Yo, delicious. Yo, because it's like a spring chicken. I mean, I don't know, maybe because the way they sprung up on, you know what I mean? Maybe that's why they call it spring chicken. Yo, in China, I know they eat anything that moves. If it moves, like years ago, I was watching like years ago, I was watching some documentary, something like that, on the news about Walmart. You know the Walmart. Besides the food, everything you see in Walmart is basically made in China. They have a good relationship with China, Walmart. That's why Walmart was able to. It's kind of different right now. Things are also cheaper than Walmart anymore. But back in the days, like 10, 15, 20 years ago, in Walmart, everything was cheap because they got it cheap from China. You know what I'm saying? And I was watching a documentary in China. I was shocked to see what I saw in the Walmart in China. I saw animals running around all over in China, man. I'm saying, what is this? I couldn't believe it because you don't see it in America. You know what I'm saying? The only animals in America is like the frozen food. But in China, I see live animals. Yo, chicken. Running around in the supermarket in China. That's what it is in China. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. But I was then I became to be aware that in China, they have no regard for the Most High's laws and commandment, especially the dietary laws. And we just read in Leviticus, right now in Leviticus 11, Genesis 7, or the laws were established from the very beginning. But in China, they eat anything that moves, man. There's a reason why the Most High made a distinction between what's clean and unclean. I mean, you can eat it, but what? What's going to be the consequence in your system? What's going to be the consequence? It may taste good. Because I read these restaurants also. They trick you when you go to buy beef or steak. They give a pork, they season you know what I mean? They know this, or they season that pork to make it think you're getting beef or steak. Oh yeah, trust me. A lot of the restaurants do that, Doc. You pay for steak or beef, but what you really get is pork. They play all kind of games, huh? You think you pay for snapper fish? You give me catfish or some. Every time I look around on the internet, somebody's always sending me something of you got Chinese watermelon, Chinese cabbage. I don't know how to do that. I'm saying, watermelon, something you just break it into fall apart. A watermelon is like that rubber. You can't even tear it. I saw just a couple of days ago somebody said it. You know what I'm saying? No water came out here. Where's the water? It's supposed to be the watermelon. You know what I'm saying? But that's a good thing for us in these last days, though. Because now we're kind of looking at Chinese like, we got to start scrutinizing you guys. Plastic rice, all, you know what I'm saying? We're going to start looking at you guys differently. But I don't know. But they don't eat that, though. I don't know. Maybe they do, because we got a couple of billion people over there. So, and sometimes people, they don't even care about their own people. It's all about the dollar bill. You know what I'm saying? So, But it's maybe a good thing that now that we know that the so-called coronavirus is rampant in China now. Maybe they're you know what? We don't want them any more food for me for a little while until we know what's going on over there. We're not gonna buy anything from you Chinese until you get things sorted out. You know what I'm saying? That may be a good thing for us right there. You know what I'm saying? We don't want anything from you ain't even gotta buy your technology anymore. Or your movies anymore. Yeah, because they may influence us. You got some? Go ahead.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 47, verse 3. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man.
Right, so your nakedness. You know what? The wrongdoings, the weakness. They may portray themselves as superior or advanced, but certain aspects of what's going on with them may reveal, they are not really on the level that they portray themselves to be on. So we have to look at them, differently, from a different perspective, and realize, they are not who they portray themselves to be. So we can't look up to them like we used to do. Because that's why we're all people. We be so beaten down, man. So downtrodden, being abused and all that. So we have this, collectively as a people, have this low self-esteem. They will look to everybody else as superior to us. But little by little, most of us is turning things around. They show you what, you are the superior people. And these people you had in this high level, they're nothing. Realize that. So that's what most are showing us. Can't read more? Yeah, give me Ezekiel 4:13. Ezekiel chapter 4, verse 13, yeah.
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 4, verse 13. And the Most High said, even thus shall the children of Israel eat the defiled bread among the Gentiles, whither I will drive them.
Right, because the Most High, because of our disobedience, the Most High scattered us through the four corners of this earth, amongst the Gentiles. Understand? Because we were scattered amongst the Gentiles, what? We took on the customs of the Gentiles. We follow the religion, the doctrines, philosophies of the Gentiles, instead of following the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. Some of which are what? For the dietary laws of the Gentiles. We eat what they eat. Eat the pork, the shrimps, the lobsters. You know what I'm saying? All those things. The rats, the bats, like the Chinese. It's amazing what they eat. They eat anything that moves. And all these things, those animals, they are the source of what's going on right now in China. You know what I'm saying? Why do you think that all those things originated in China? Because they neglect to obey the Most High's dietary laws. Our people do also wherever we are. But at least we have some things we don't eat. We may eat pork, but say, we ain't gonna eat the rat, we ain't gonna eat the bat, we ain't gonna eat what? We ain't gonna eat the dog. What? We ain't gonna eat the frog. What? We ain't gonna eat that. What? We ain't gonna eat that. We ain't gonna eat shark. We can get a shark. We can get, you know what I'm saying? But I need to what? If it moves, maybe that's why they got so many people over there. They kind of they eat all kind of food, so they were going to shortage of food. Because if they were shortage of food, then I guess you know what I'm saying, you know. Remember back in the days, maybe a few years ago, because the Chinese population was exploding, they had this one child policy. You remember that? Yeah. It's one child policy. Because China was exploding so much. I guess the population was increasing so much because there was a shortage of food over there because they ate anything. If there was a shortage of food, you see, you know what, you know, I can't afford to feed this child, so you know, I ain't gonna have no more children. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't the case to the Chinese, but it was the West though who imposed it on Chinese. Keep an eye on this guy, Bill Gates, too. Do some research on this guy, Bill Gates. Yeah, he's a very instrumental part in imposing those, you know, and those the one child policy in the Chinese and the population control. That's not a topic to go into in detail, but it's part of that too. But the Chinese, man, they eat anything that moves, and those animals are the carriers of those viruses and diseases which got transferred into human beings. It's not a coincidence. It's not a coincidence that this virus is in China. It's not. That started in China. It's not a new virus, but it started years ago, like 7 years ago. Go on.
Actually, one of the brothers, he came out with the Lysol bottle and he showed the ingredients on the Lysol bottle, the coronavirus.
Yeah.
He was saying that no, this is not something new. Even Lysol to show you that they know about it.
Right. Exactly, but it's like it got the most went to a higher level now that this you can't spray the you know what I'm saying? This license spray can't kill this virus anymore because the most kind of escalated this virus to be more stubborn, to be more resistant. You know what I'm saying? Just to show you that hey, what they're doing is abominable. Read on Ezekiel. Read on. Ezekiel 4:13.
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 4, verse 13. And the Most High said, even thus shall the children of Israel eat their defiled bread among the Gentiles.
Right, we should eat our defiled bread amongst the Gentiles because we were scattered amongst the Gentiles. And whatever the Gentiles eat, so do we eat. Voluntarily or involuntarily. Like in America, just about everything you buy in the supermarket has pork in it. Whether you realize it or not. You don't even know because most of our people don't even read the ingredients anyway. You see cheese, they say about, you see a pack of cheese in the pack, pick it up. You see a loaf of bread to pick it up. You see dairy, whatever food product you want to pick up. We don't read our ingredients. But what? But Esau is aware of that. Esau knows that we are the Most High's people, and they go out of the way to contaminate us. And because by us being contaminated, we are alienated from the Most High. Understand? So they put pork On pork doesn't say pork. There are a whole variety of different names for pork. There are a whole variety of different names for pork. You know what I'm saying? You don't even know what it is. And because it's affordable. They make it affordable. Even the clothing we wear. Certain clothing we wear, man, has pork in it. You don't even know. Okay, it looks good. It feels good. It's comfortable. It's affordable. So you buy it. And all those things I'm saying, because what righteousness and unrighteousness it's like oil and water. They don't mix. Oil and water don't mix. So righteousness and unrighteousness can't occupy, just like light and darkness can't occupy the same place, same space. Righteousness and unrighteousness cannot occupy the same space. And Esau knows that. They know, trust me, they have done the homework. Why do you think all nations of this earth go so hard against our people? Because they know that the day that we come together as a nation and in righteousness, that's the end of their rulership. That's the end of their rulership. So they go out of the way to keep us away from the Most High. And a large part of that is what? Through the dietary laws. Just like back in the days, when the nation used to attack us, they used to attack us on the Sabbath. They used to attack us on the Sabbath day because they know that what? Yeah, it's a rest. And we're not gonna retaliate so much. You know what I'm saying? Until we got wise, we come to the most of the most. Yo, you gotta defend yourself. So this nation, they have the crafty counsel among themselves as to how they can destroy us, man. In a variety of ways. One of the main ways in these last days through the dietary laws, man. We eat defiled meat amongst the Gentiles. Because our people don't even know they're Israelites. They think they're Gentiles. They don't even know they're Israelites. They think they're Gentiles. So whatever the Gentiles eat, they gladly eat that too. And that further keep them away from the Most High. You got something? Read on. Go on. Got it. Get it.
The book of Judith, chapter 5, verse 20. Mm-hmm. Page 46 in the Apocrypha. Now therefore, my Lord and Governor, if there be any error in this people, and they sin against their power, let us consider the book of Judith, chapter 5, verse 20, page 46 in the Apocrypha.
Read it from the top again.
Okay. Now therefore, my Lord and Governor, if there be any error in this people, and they sin against their God, let us consider that this shall be their ruin, and let us go up, and we shall overcome them. But if there be no iniquity in their nation, let my Lord not pass by, lest their God defend them, and their power before them, and we become a reproach before all the world.
Read again, let me get it. I want to make sure I get it right. Yeah.
Verse 20.
Something before that. Something like 18 or something like that. Let me get the essence of it.
Verse 18. Mm-hmm. But when they departed from the way which he appointed them,
right,
they were destroyed in many battles, very sore.
Right, when they depart from the way. See, when the Most High doesn't it, This is the way for our people. That's the way the Most High wants us to walk in. And it's going to be with us. But when we depart from that way, read on.
And were led captives into a land that was not theirs.
Right. We departed from the way, then we were led captive into a land that was not ours. Read on. Which we are today. Read on.
And the temple of their power was cast to the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And their cities were taken by their enemies.
Mm-hmm.
But now are they returned to their power, and are come up from the places where they were scattered.
Right, we were scattered amongst the nations, and the Most High brought us back from those nations into our homeland. Read on.
And have possessed Jerusalem, where their sanctuary is.
Right.
And are seated in the hill country, for it was desolate. Now therefore, my Lord and Governor, if there be any error in this people, and they sin against their God, let us consider that this shall be their ruin.
Right. See that? That's graphic answer right there. They say, if there's any error in this people, and they've sinned against the God, that's their ruin. If we sin against the Most High, that's our ruin. The nation just saying that. They are contemplating that. They say in the so-called Negroes, West Indians, Haitians, Puerto Ricans, these Hebrew Israelites sin against their God, that's their ruin. And that's when we can overcome them. So they look into ways into which we can sin against the Most High inadvertently, not even knowing it. And I'm saying we are sinning against our people, the Most High, on a daily basis, unawares. Because we are manipulated into a situation where we sin against the Most High with our knowledge. Because these other nations know that, when we are righteous, the Most High got us. But when we transgress, the Most High turns his back on us. Read on, huh?
But if there be no iniquity in their nation.
But if there's no iniquity in our nation, but if we keep the Most High's laws, statutes, and commandments, read on.
Let my Lord now pass by.
Let my Lord now pass by. So if they know we are righteous and we keep the Most High's laws, statutes, and commandments, they know better than to come to us. They're going to test us. Because they know at that point the Most High got us. The Most High going to represent us. The Most High going to defend us. Understand? So they know when to attack us or when to back off from us. Trust me. And they've studied us. Because you know, right now, we are people in ignorance right now. In gross darkness. That's why we're so vulnerable. That's why we're so open to all kind of attacks from all different nations. That's what's going on. You got something?
I was just going to reiterate what you said. Like, our people don't even understand that we're at war. Like, we're prisoners of war. We're at war with these nations.
Mm-hmm.
Even though that our people is not warring against them, they're still holding that war against us.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're a lot of our people are confused against
that. Right. Exactly. That's how our people have been tricked. They've been tricked into thinking that we're part of our enemy, not knowing our enemy is against us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's what integration did. Our people believe that we're all one big family, one big melting pot. When all these ethnic groups, not just the so-called white men, all these other nations, because we are the only people who want to integrate. All these nations have their own piece of the pie. I'm saying would have circulate the money on the economy amongst themselves. But we were led to believe that, it's that Martin Luther King, we just celebrated his birthday a few weeks ago, right? But I don't know, under ignorance, he did us dirty, man. You know what I'm saying? Because before that, our people, when we relied on ourselves, we were all right, even though we were in captivity. But when we started out thinking that integration was the solution, that's when we got messed up.
Yeah, we get embargoed. We get somebody come in your house, shoot you, then the brother hugs the killer.
Yeah, exactly.
Then we get that type of condition.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we don't know. Got more?
Lest their God defend them and their power before them.
Right. So that was the Edomite, those heathens consulting among themselves to say what? If they are in transgression, attack them. But if they keep the Moses' laws, statutes, and commandments, pass by them. Because at that point in time, the God is going to defend them. They knew that. Because they studied us. That's a good part about of warfare. Know your enemy. You got to know your enemy. Know your enemy's strength and the weakness. I said, so that you know when and how to attack them. Don't attack them at the time of their strength. Attack them when they're vulnerable. And when we were vulnerable was when we were transgressed against the Most High. But when we were in a one accord, keeping the Most High's laws, statutes, and commandments, you see what they said amongst themselves? Go right by them. Because the Most High got them. Their God got them. They knew that. Right now, we're in transgression. So nobody's going by us. Everybody's infiltrating us, further contaminating us, violating us. So that's why we gotta come out of you know what I mean? That's state of mind and come back, come together as a nation. Stop transgressing. Then the Most High will come back to us and be our defense. Read you got more?
And we become a reproach before all the world.
Mm-hmm. Right. Now give me 1 Timothy 5. 1 Timothy 4. See, I tell him what, we say what, because our focus is on this coronavirus thing. Emphasizing that, we can't eat anything. But they say, yeah, we can. Yes, we can. Yeah, that's pretty big. Yeah.
My grandma said, bless it and set it and go on about your business.
1 Timothy 4, verse 1.
The book of 1 Timothy, chapter 4, verse 1. Now the Spirit speaketh expressly, that in the latter times some shall depart from the faith.
Right. The Spirit says, speaking expressly, that in the latter times, and we are in the latter times, some shall depart from the faith. Yeah, I'm an elder, so I've seen some things way back in the days of brothers who were in the faith, who were waiting for the Mashiach Yahushua return. I don't know. Maybe they thought They set the Most High's calendar. They were going to decide when the Most High Yahushua was going to come back. They thought maybe, hey, because we all thought we were taught back in the days that Yahushua was going to come back year 2000. Back in the days, they thought that. So there were a lot of our brothers who thought the Yahushua was going to come back year 2000. When it didn't come year 2000, what? They departed from the faith. We're going to act from verse 1.
The book of 1 Timothy, chapter 4, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
Now the Spirit speaketh expressly that in the latter times some shall depart from the faith.
Right. Now the Spirit speaketh expressly that in the latter times, meaning in the last days, some shall depart from the faith. What's the faith? Yeah. Yahushua coming back to redeem Israel from the nations, from the captivity that we're in. Read on.
Giving heed to seducing spirits.
Giving heed, you know what? Believing what they're saying. Giving heed, giving heed, accepting what they're saying. Giving heed to seducing spirits. Seducing spirits, you know what? Spirits that take you away from the words of the Most High. To take you away from the truth. Giving heed to seducing spirit. You know what it means, seduced? You've been enticed. Giving you nice words, and I tell you what, hey, it's better over here. I can get a good job. You know what I mean? I better standard of living. You're more comfortable over here. You know what I mean? You're struggling over there. But over here is so much better. And a lot of people will fail for it. A lot of people fell for it. Because they started, you know what? It's all right. We're holding on for a long time. Waiting for the return of the Mashiach Yahushua. Where is he at? And I'm suffering for such a long time. I deserve to have some kind of comfort in my life. I deserve to live a good life. I've been working hard all my life. I deserve something good. And I fell for it. So you know what? Forget this. Just like I said, Second Peter said that. I read on anyway. Read on.
And doctrines of devils.
And doctrines of devils. Read on.
Speaking lies in hypocrisy. Having their conscience seared.
You know what? Let's give them some of the scriptures though. Why we shouldn't be seduced. Why we should not depart from the faith. Why we should not give heed to these seducing spirits and doctrines of devils. Get Matthew 24:13.
The book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 13. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved.
He that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. Let you know, we don't know literally when the end is. Because the scripture be talking about the end times for a long time. The end times is not something we can take literally. It's an error in which certain events can take place. But the Most High said, he that shall endure to the end shall be saved. So you got to endure. It's a race. a long distance race. It's not a sprint. And that's how you're going to be saved. But the good thing is when you're saved, there ain't going to be no more destruction. There ain't going to be any more temptation. There ain't going to be any more tribulation. Read on.
And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world.
Right. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world. And it's been preached to all the world. Our brothers, we go all over the world, all over America, the islands, the continents, looking for our people, trying to reach our people. And our people know, yo, you are the Hebrew Israelites, and you're supposed to keep the Most High's laws, statutes, and commandments. In our effort to get what? The 144,000 sealed up. Because once 144,000 are sealed up, that's when all hell is going to break loose. Understand? That's when redemption is going to come about. Now get me also 2 Thessalonians 1 and 4.
The book of 2 Thessalonians chapter 1 verse 4. So that we ourselves glory in you, in the churches of the Most High, for your patience and faith in all your persecutions and tribulations that ye endure.
Right. See that? It's going to be persecution, tribulation, but we have to endure. We're going to have economic hardship, domestic hardship, husband and wife, unemployment, finding it hard to pay our bills. Situation going to come about. We see other people living a good life, so-called good life, but we over here struggling. We got to work 2 or 3 jobs to make ends meet. We are in captivity. We are going to go through those things. But we have to endure those things. Knowing that once we endure those things, there's going to be good, there's going to be a salvation ahead. Not saying that we should automatically accept those things. We should always make an effort to elevate ourselves from hardship or any kind of tribulation that's in front of us. But it's going to come. Read on.
Which ye manifest token of the righteous judgment of the Most High, that ye may be counted worthy of the kingdom of the Most High.
Right. So when the tribulations hit you, don't use them as an excuse to break the Most High's laws, statutes, and commandments, even though we are in the grace per se. But don't use them automatically as an excuse to break the Most High's laws, statutes, and commandments. Understand? Take them cheerfully the best you can. Because there's going to be a reward for it. There's a reason why we're going through it. We broke the Most High's laws, statutes, and commandments, and we have to pay a price for that transgression. What you got right here, Robert? Okay, all right, yeah, okay. In the tribulation, yeah, okay. You know more than that? Get me also Luke 21:19. Mm. All right, okay.
The book of Luke, chapter 21, verse 19. In your patience, possess ye your souls.
Right. In your patience, possess ye your soul. You know what? You're going through some hardship. Be patient. Don't try to, cut in corners and, you know what I mean, and compromise your morality or your integrity to avoid certain situations that you're in. I mean, you're in a certain situation, but you know what I mean, which you should try, you should try to avoid it, but don't avoid it by doing something which you know is against the Most High's laws, statutes, and commandments. More? Right. Now give me First Timothy 4:1. Did you read that? What do you got?
I got 1 Corinthians 15.
Oh, I'm saying I'm First Timothy. Okay, go read it. Get that.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 15, verse 57.
Mhm.
But thanks to the Most High, be to the Most High, which give us the victory through our Adu one Yahushai. Therefore, my beloved brethren, be steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Adu one. For as much as ye know that your labor is not in vain in the Most High.
Right. See that? Be steadfast in the Most High, the Mashiach Yahushai. Your labor is not in vain. It's hard work, but there's a reward. It's not going to be an immediate reward. You're not going to get it right now. But just know that, in the long run, your reward is coming. You're going to get it. That's what the scripture said right there. Be steadfast in the Most High, the Mashiach Yahushai, and know that your labor, when you go to camp, edify the Most High's people, when it comes to Shabbat service, keep the new moon, the Sabbath day, you know what I mean? Keeping His laws, statutes, and commandments. It's not in vain. There's a reward for it. And Satan knows that. Even Satan knows that. But what did Satan say to Job? Don't destroy the Most High for north. Remember that? Yeah, because Satan know, even Job knew that. Job knew, I'm serving the Most High, there's a reward for it. You know what I'm saying? So we're serving the Most High, there's a reward for it. We're not laboring in vain. Go back to Timothy first. 1 Timothy 4.
The book of 1 Timothy, chapter 4, verse 3. Forbidding to marry and commanding to abstain from meats, which God had...
Read 2 again.
Verse 2.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking lies and hypocrisy.
Speaking lies and hypocrisy. Yeah.
Having their conscience seared with a hot iron.
Having the conscience seared with a hot iron. I mean, the conscience is seared. You can't tell them nothing. It's seared, man. It's implanted, embedded in the conscience. You can't even tell what people that, you're the Gentiles who are Hebrew Israelite. The Mashiach Yahushua, Christ, who you call Jesus, is a black man. You can't even tell them that. Christ died for the Hebrew Israelites. You can't even tell them that because they were indoctrinated otherwise. They don't want to hear that. Keep the laws, statutes, and commandments. As long as I call the name of the Lord, I'm all right. No. Keep the laws, statutes, and commandments. They are seared with the doctrines of devils. God only loved the Israelites. He died for the Hebrew Israelites. No, he died for everybody. They are seared with the doctrines of devils. They're drinking the Kool-Aid. The wine and the Kool-Aid. You got a double portion of abomination. Can't tell them nothing. Speaking lies in hypocrisy. Read.
Forbidding to marry and commanding to abstain from meats which the Most High has created.
Forbidden to marry and commanded to abstain from meats. Right. So a lot of people want to be vegans. I mean, so there's nothing wrong with that. But you know, the Most High give us certain meats which we can eat and which we should not eat. But in the last, due to the misunderstanding a lot of our people, that the herbs for the service of man, they misunderstood that to mean that, hey, you should be vegetarian. But they didn't read Genesis chapter 7. Where there were clean beasts and unclean beasts. You know what I'm saying? So certain people just push certain agenda, but it's all right. We on?
Verse 3, forbidding to marry and commanding to abstain from meats, which the Most High had created to be received with thanksgiving of them which believe and know the truth.
Which the Most High hath created to be received with thanksgiving. The Most High created us meats to be received with thanksgiving of them which believe and know the truth. What's the truth? The laws of the Most High are the truth. But not everyone knows the truth. Not everyone knows the laws of the Most High. Not everyone was aware of the, Genesis chapter 7 or Leviticus chapter 11 or Deuteronomy 14. So they lean on their own misunderstanding. Read. This is what they say. When they tell them that, the Most High says certain beasts or animals or fowls of the air or fishes of the seas are clean and some are unclean, they don't understand that. They don't want to understand that. Read. Verse 4.
The book of 1 Timothy, chapter 4, verse 4. For every creature of the Most High is good.
That's what they say. For every creature of the Most High is good. That's what they say. But they don't understand what that means. For every creature of the Most High is good. It's good, meaning what? This is a purpose. What's good? This is a purpose. And it's good meaning what? It's in accordance to the Most High's laws, statutes, and commandments. It's good meaning what? The ones which are clean, those you should eat. And those will not contaminate your system. They will not give you any kind of disease. But the ones which are unclean, like the rats, the bats, the dogs, the cats, those animals that the Chinese are eating, what's going to happen? Those give it the coronavirus. It's not a coincidence why this is so rampant in China as opposed to other parts of the world? Because of all the people of all the nations on this earth, they are the ones who blatantly disregard the Most High's dietary law. And we as Hebrew Israelites should see the wisdom in the Most High's laws, statutes, and commandments as to why we should observe the Most High's dietary law. Well, we all know that, you know what I mean, if you eat more vegetables, it's more healthier than if you eat too much meat. We know that. And most I say do everything all right, in moderation. You know what I'm saying? So it's healthier if you eat more vegetables and fruits as opposed to if you lean too much on meats, even if the meats are righteous. But it's a totally different situation as in the case in what's called Wuhan, China, over there in China. We have total disregard for the Most High's dietary law and eat anything that moves. That's the result of what's going on right now. That's why this it's about could be an epidemic. Well, an epidemic, you know what I mean? But people are just contaminated with this coronavirus. That's what's going on. That's been the focus of tonight's discussion. The wisdom of this world is foolishness with the Most High. The wisdom of this world is saying, you can eat anything you want to eat, as long as you're blessed, as long as you pray over it. What kind of wisdom is that? Read on.
For every creature of the Most High is good, and nothing to be refused.
And nothing to be refused is good. You know what? The scavengers of the earth, the lobsters, the shrimps, the crabs, the bottom feeders in the fish, they're good. In what sense? They clean the ocean. So the bottom feeders, they clean the filth. They serve their purpose. And the hogs, the pigs, and all those unclean animals, they're good in the sense that what? They clean the filth of the earth also. Like all the owls and the eagles, the vultures, they're good in what? The animals that die for themselves, what? They eat those. They clean up the, you know what I'm saying? So they serve a purpose. That's how they're good. Because the scavengers, they eat the filth of the earth. They were created by the Most High to serve that purpose. But when you start eating those creatures who eat those abominable creatures, that's when you get contaminated. Which is what's happening over in China right now. Which is the result of this coronavirus, which is plaguing this earth right now. That's what's going on. Read on, huh? Some more.
For every creature of the Most High is good, and nothing to be refused if it be received with thanksgiving. For it is sanctified by the word of the Most High in prayer.
Right, that's what they say. As long as the pray over it, it's good. Yeah, oh boy. As long as the pray over pork is good. Even the so-called Jews, they say, you know what? As long as I pray over this pork, that will make it kosher. So which is ridiculous. I'm about to wrap it up. Give me 1 Corinthians 10 verse 14.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 10, verse 14. Wherefore, my dearly beloved, flee from idolatry. I speak as wise men. Judge ye what I say.
Yeah.
Verse 20. Yeah, sacrifices to devils.
Yeah. Give me that. Verse 20. Verse 20. Yeah.
Verse 20. The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 10, verse 20. But I said the things which the Gentiles sacrifice, they sacrifice to devils, to the Most High. And I would not that ye should have fellowship with devils.
Right. So unclean animal, just like the time of when before you have a Hanukkah, before the cleansing of the temple, like when the so-called when the Greeks took over a temple, just to profane our temple, when we the sacrifice unclean beasts and all that on our temple, to contaminate it. That's what they did. And I say the things with the Gentiles sacrifice to the devils, but not to the Most High. Read on.
I would not that ye should have fellowship with devils. Ye cannot drink the cup of the Most High and the cup of devils. Ye cannot be partakers of the Most High's tables and the table of devils.
Right. You can't be partaking of the Most High's table on the table of devils. So we gotta be mindful of what we eat. What they eat is what? According to their laws, their doctrine, their philosophies. But we can't conform to that. Even though we're scattered, even though us coming into the truth, I know the truth, we can't conform to that. We got to conform to the Most High's laws, statutes, and commandments. Read on.
Do we provoke the Most High to jealousy? Are we stronger than He? All things are lawful for me, but all things are not expedient.
Right. So we're not going to provoke the Most High to jealousy. Understand? And that's what a lot of our people do. Provoke the Most High to jealousy by conforming to the ways of the other nations. So I'm gonna wrap it up with that. He's come tonight? Okay. So the brother should be here in getting ready for camp tonight. So as you know, tomorrow we're gonna have the Hebrew class at 11 a.m. After that, maybe an hour later, 12 noon, we're gonna have the Shabbat service. We're located at 2937 West Broad Boulevard in Fort Lauderdale. New Moon Sunday. Can. By Shamash Kawashai. So I praise them all to all our people logging on live stream, YouTube. By Shamash Kawashai. See you tomorrow. We'll say Amadi Wapanya Yerushalayim, son of his Jerusalem. Psalms 133. Shayar, Hama Alwath, Ladawad, Hana, Ma, Tawab, Wama, Naayam, Shabath, Akyam, Gam, Yakad, Kashaman, Atawab, Al, Haraash, Yarad, Al, Hazakwan, Zakwan, Haaran, Shayarad, Al, Paya, Madawahtiawa, Katal, Karamwan, Shayarad, Al, Araria, Kazayawan, Kaya, Sham, Tazawa, Yahawa, Ath, Abaraka, Kayawam, Ad, Iwalam, Ba'asham, Hamashiach, Yahawashai, Tawara, Aman.
The book of Psalms, chapter 133, verse 1. Behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. It is like the precious ointment upon the head that ran down upon the beard, even Aaron's beard, that went down to the skirts of his garment, has the dew of Hermon, and as the dew that descended upon the mountains of Zion. For there the Most High commanded the blessing, even life forevermore. Ba'ashem Hamashiach Yahushai, the water Tamyar,